everyone. Welcome to Tesla Shorts Time, daily episode 506 for June 10th, 2026. I'm Patrick, coming to you from Vancouver. Let's dive into today's Tesla news. Denmark's FSD Supervised approval extends the system to 4 European countries and shows how regulatory progress can outpace fleet deployment elsewhere. Tesla announced FSD Supervised approvals in the Netherlands, Lithuania, Estonia, and Denmark. The company's stated rollout to Danish vehicle owners is expected to begin shortly after the June 9 announcement. This marks the 4th European country to clear the supervised system. Tesla released its first localized FSD Supervised safety snapshot for the Netherlands. The data covers how the system manages local roads, roundabouts, and right-of-way rules. Regulators are treating supervised operation as a distinct category rather than requiring full autonomy from the start. While Europe moves forward on supervised features, Tesla's actual robotaxi deployment tells a different story. Tesla's robotaxi operations remain limited to 59 vehicles nearly a year after initial service began. The slow growth contrasts with earlier statements about rapid, unsupervised expansion. Current operations stay confined to a narrow geographic area in Texas. The figure highlights the gap between software capability and actual scaled deployment. Operations still limited to a narrow Texas area with minimal growth since launch. This connects directly to something we've been watching with Cybercab and robotaxis since the last update. Regulatory and deployment friction at the factory level adds another layer of pressure. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District issued 17 violations to the Fremont factory on a single day. The citations relate to air emissions and permitting requirements at the assembly plant. Tesla has not yet detailed corrective actions or whether production was affected. The cluster of violations adds to ongoing scrutiny of the site's environmental compliance record. The cluster raises questions about whether production schedules are affecting compliance processes. Continued regulatory attention could add cost and scheduling pressure at the main U.S. assembly site. Meanwhile, Tesla is trying to regain momentum in its largest single market. Tesla China sales rose 22% after 2 consecutive months of declines. The rebound follows price adjustments and new inventory allocations in the market. It remains unclear whether the increase reflects sustained demand or temporary restocking. Monthly export and registration data will show if the uptick continues. BYD captured 36.7% of China's May NEV exports, while Tesla held 9.1% for 4th place. Tesla's share comes primarily from Shanghai-built vehicles shipped to Europe and other markets. General Motors announced a partnership with Peak to enter stationary energy storage. The move mirrors Tesla's Megapack business model of pairing vehicle production with grid-scale batteries. GM has not disclosed initial capacity targets or factory locations. The entry adds another competitor in a segment where Tesla currently holds significant market share. A comparison of owner-reported reliability data shows Tesla vehicles ahead of Rivian models across multiple categories. The analysis draws from warranty claims and roadside assistance records. Rivian has not released its own comparable long-term durability figures. The gap matters as both companies scale production and compete for the same buyer segment. Piper Sandler analysts stated Tesla has resolved core self-driving technical challenges. The firm cited recent F8D version performance and regulatory traction as supporting evidence. No specific price target revision was attached to the comment in the report. The view contrasts with other firms that continue to flag remaining regulatory and scaling hurdles. An analyst report highlighted Optimus humanoid robots as a potential major revenue contributor. The note pointed to internal Tesla deployment as the initial proving ground before external sales. No unit volume or pricing assumptions were detailed in the summary. The projection assumes successful scaling of the Giga Texas production line, now under construction. The base Model Y rear-wheel drive starts at $39,990 and removes some higher trim features. Reviewers noted reduced sound insulation and simpler interior materials compared with long-range versions. The lower price targets buyers previously priced out of the lineup. Real-world range and charging performance remain consistent with other Model Y variants. On the product side, Tesla is also rolling out new software features for existing owners. Tesla is preparing to release Actually Smart Summon for the Cybertruck. The feature allows the vehicle to navigate parking lots and approach the owner without driver input. This follows earlier Cybertruck-specific software updates and comes ahead of broader, unsupervised ambitions. Owners will watch whether the system handles the truck's size and turning radius without additional interventions. Tesla confirmed the Summon feature for Cybertruck will begin rolling out in the near term. The update targets the same parking lot navigation use case. Owners are tracking whether the truck's dimensions require any unique tuning. A clip showed the vehicle maintaining 69 to 70 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone, while also staying in the left lane. The driver noted the behavior occurred on the standard setting rather than a more aggressive profile. The example illustrates how speed compliance can vary even when drivers select conservative modes. Owners report the system moves to the slower lane more readily when the fast lane is congested and the car is set to hurry. The behavior appears tied to traffic density rather than a fixed preference for passing lanes. It highlights how FSD interprets driver intent through the chosen profile. Observers noted that current SpaceX valuation arguments echo the early skepticism Tesla faced. The comparison underscores how long development timelines can test investor patience before results appear. A new Tesla facility is under construction on the south end of Pancho Road in Camarillo. The site appears separate from existing service or delivery centers in the area. Local observers are watching for clues on whether it will support sales, service, or another function. Before we close, a quick look at the regulatory philosophy behind these supervised rollouts. Europe's incremental approvals for supervised FSD create a natural experiment in how regulators weigh demonstrated miles against the absence of unsupervised capability. Denmark's decision follows similar clearances in the Netherlands, Lithuania, and Estonia, each requiring localized safety data before drivers can activate the system. The pattern shows regulators accepting supervised operation as a distinct category rather than demanding full autonomy from day one. That approach differs from the US path, where unsupervised robotaxi deployment remains the headline goal. In Europe, the supervised label keeps the driver legally responsible, which lowers the regulatory bar but also caps the service model Tesla can offer. The distinction matters for gross margin because supervised features still require a paid driver or owner behind the wheel, while true unsupervised operation would shift the economics toward fleet utilization rates. The open variable is whether the safety snapshots Tesla is now publishing will accelerate or slow further European expansion. If localized data continues to show lower intervention rates than human drivers, additional countries may follow the same supervised route. If the data instead highlights edge cases, regulators could extend review periods and delay revenue from software subscriptions in those markets. Tomorrow, we'll be watching for further details on how localized safety data influences approvals in additional European markets. And that's a wrap on today's Tesla news. TSLA closed at $396.68, up 79 cents, 0.2%. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating or review. It genuinely helps other Tesla fans find us. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. See you tomorrow, and before you go, this show is part of the Nera Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Fascinating Frontiers a listen. The most fascinating news from space and science. You can explore the whole lineup at neurennetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.